You can see how can do optimistic of a wild day. Tomorrow will bring. Be optimistic. You hear the voice of reason telling you this could never be done. Optimistic. No matter how reality seems. Just hold on to your dreams. When things around you crumble, no, you don't have to stumble and fall. Keep pushing on and don't you look back. Be optimistic. I know the storms and strife.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to Life with Shenita's talk show. I am Shenita Connally, and I want to welcome you guys to this special edition this evening of Why We Matter, Why Black Men Matter. And tonight it is a special occasion because we will celebrate and honor the life of my deceased husband, Winston Connally, with some special men in his life. And so I am so excited to share some 60-second moments with you all about the gentleman by the name of Winston Connally. So, Life with Shenita. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. The goal for Life with Shenita is to help people overcome life's challenges and live a vibrant life beyond those dark days. So that I hope that through this broadcast and other interactions with you guys, that you will be able to take a different perspective on your journey and choose to live a vibrant life. So please like and share this broadcast. Please like and share this broadcast. I am so excited to introduce with you all some gentlemen who will be co-hosting with me this evening. I actually have three men, two of which who will be co-hosting, but Cornelius George, who was a really good friend of Winston's, who was one of his work brothers. I actually have my biological brothers, David and Ricky, who will be joining me as co-hosts or guests for a short period of time. And so I am going to invite those men into the studio so that we can get started. So if you guys would help me welcome Mr. Cornelius George, Mr. David McCants, and Ricky McCants. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Welcome. Good to see you guys. Good to have y'all for this special occasion of celebrating our great friend, our great brother, our great husband. I am grateful to have each and every one of you guys to be here tonight. So welcome.
Thank you.
Before we hear from you guys, you're welcome. Before we hear from you guys, we have some people in the green room that are waiting to share their 60-second minute or their 60-second thoughts and their 1 minute tribute to Winston. So we're going to invite his beloved sons in, starting with his oldest son, Chris also known as Winston Connally, into the stage, and Jonathan Connally, and we'll have them to share their thoughts, and then we'll move on as we expeditiously allow all the other men to come in and share and keep it moving. So I am inviting Chris. Good evening,
Hello.
Chris. Welcome.
How y'all doing?
Good.
What's up, Chris?
Hello.
Welcome. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
What's up?
Good to have you guys.
Thank you.
But we are hoping that we're good. We're hoping that you guys are ready to share a few thoughts of your dad in this celebratory way. So, Chris, we'll let you go first.
Okay. My dad, what can I say? He was an amazing person, a great man. He taught me many things. He lived a vibrant life, and he was a good person.
Awesome. Well, I thank you for sharing that. The older you get, the more you look like him.
Thank you. Everybody says that.
Yes. So hence is how you got that name, Winston. So, and Jonathan, if you'd like to share your thoughts of your dad. I know now you're a dad. You're a dad now, so I know this hits differently for you.
He just, like Chris said, he was a good man, a good teacher. He ain't really judged nobody. He was easy to talk to.
Yes.
He really taught me everything I know. It was just real down to earth.
Yes. Everybody loved that about him. He definitely was a down to earth man that anybody could talk to. I actually have a video to upload a little bit later from a friend of his, and that's exactly what he said on that video. So
yeah, he helped a lot of my friends out too.
I'm sure. I remember that. You guys, your house was the refuge house.
Yeah.
Y'all house was where everybody came and congregated and got what they needed. I know I talked to Xavier a lot, and we talk about that a lot. Yeah. So that's a good thing. So congratulations again on the baby.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'll get to see her.
Congratulations, Jonathan.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, hopefully.
Congratulations, Jonathan. Good to see you. You and Chris.
Yep. So thank you guys for taking the time to be here. And
no problem.
And we'll talk to you guys a little bit later, and hopefully I'll get to see the baby soon. I'm just really careful about exposure right now. So, but
hey, Chris.
Everybody.
Chris. Yes, sir. You see my hat, huh? Oh, I see it. I see you do that. Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing.
Ain't nothing but them Saints this year.
We ready for you. All right.
All right, guys. Thank y'all, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye. All right. So that was a great warm-up to a wonderful evening, and we got some other men waiting in the studio, so we're going to allow them to come in and share their 60 seconds. We're going to keep it moving. So we have Jay White.
Yo.
What's happening, Jay?
How are you?
Good.
What's
How are
up,
you?
Jay? What's up, Jay?
What's up, Rick? What's up, Big Dave? Cornelius, you got all the stars in the building today.
Oh, you the one.
Good to see y'all, man.
You too. Thank you for stopping in.
Yeah, man, it's good to be seen and not viewed.
I know that's right, brother. I know that's right.
A lot happening, man. A lot happening in these streets.
Yes,
we out here. Let me get started by saying, Shenita, I salute you for even pulling this together, because we had to say everybody's name, our ancestors, people who are close to us. So I just want to salute you and take my hat off to you and thank you for your leadership, as y'all do as Black women.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to share a 60-second thought or memory of Winston with the audience?
I do, and I got a good one too. This is when y'all had the center off of Jonesboro Road. What is it? Is it
Awesome
Jonesboro?
Inc. Yeah, awesome. Jonesboro. Mm-hmm.
Terra Boulevard.
Terra Boulevard. Awesome Inc.
Awesome Inc. Exactly. And y'all were doing a marriage. It wasn't a marriage retreat, but it was like y'all were kind of coaching and counseling couples. You familiar? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had got on your nerves so bad, and I just remember you going in the back room. I didn't even know you had a back room. So I looked up, and Winston, here you go. Shenita. He was looking around for it. Neat was in the back room. I swear. I didn't even know it was a bat cave back there. But you know his voice. Shenita.
That sounds just like him.
That sounds just like him.
He looked around, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I cried because somebody was on your last nerves. I'm talking about on your last nerve. He was in the back, like, I can't take it. I can't take it.
And it didn't take much. It didn't take much back then. Thank God for growth.
Listen, and I think, and you know what? I'm mixing up the moments. So y'all had a couples retreat there, but I think y'all also did something with kids there.
Right.
So it was the kids that got on your nerves, and he was looking for you, and you left him out by himself with them kids. Leave him. And you was in the back, you ghosted him. It was so funny.
But he,
So that's my moment.
but he was a cool cat though. He was cool.
Yeah. I've never seen his feathers ruffled ever.
Yeah, he
Never
don't get
seen him
upset.
upset. Yeah, never seen him upset. His voice too deep to get mad. It's just
So I appreciate you, Jay, for stopping by to sharing that moment and
thank you for
making us
inviting me.
laugh and so many great moments. So I appreciate you. I know your
Yes,
schedule is
ma'am.
busy, but thank you. I love you. And peace out.
I love you too. Thank y'all. Peace out,
All
y'all.
right.
All right, Jay.
All right, man.
Later.
All right.
Wonderful. We're going to keep it moving. We have King Arthur coming to the screen. Welcome, King Arthur.
What's up, man?
Hello.
How you doing?
King Arthur.
I'm good. How are you? This is
Good,
my King
good.
Arthur attire. This is my post office attire. It's a little different.
All right, King Arthur.
All right, King.
All right.
So I know you have a moment that you want to share.
Absolutely. And every time I think about Winston, I can't help but think the Sunday before the last conversation we had and the conversation he had with my wife. Because we were standing over there before church, just goofing off and horsing around like we were two big kids, like as usual. And then he said, "How's everything going?" I said, I'm good. He said, "But how you really doing? How you really doing?" I said, "I'm good." He said, "I'm about to go ask Cheryl." So he leaves me over where the deacons and the ministers sit and goes over to the front row, sits beside my wife, and asks her the same question. "So how you doing?" "Oh, I'm good. How you really doing?" "I'm good. So they have a conversation. Winston slowly, methodically peels back the layers of the onion and say, "Okay, so y'all really not as good as you should be, but do you need anything? Is it anything I can do? Is it anything I can do to help you guys?" Came back, normal service. We high-fiving each other during the service. So when I think of Winston, I think of a selfless person who always wanted to give of himself first and cared more about the people around him being good, even though he might not have been good himself. It didn't matter. He was going to take care of everybody around him first. So that's my fondest memory. That's my last memory. And I think it was that following Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, it was like, no, not Winston. I was just high-fiving him. I was just talking to him. So he's definitely like the big brother I never had, a mentor, and still missed to this day. But anytime the name comes up or I see a post Shenita, all I hear in my head is, "So how you really doing?" Like, don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me how you really doing so I can help you fix it.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
So I thank you for sharing that moment. I thank you for sharing that memory. I thank you for carving out some time
Oh,
and
absolutely.
spending with us. And we appreciate you for taking the time to celebrate the big guy.
Thanks for sharing that.
Anytime.
Yes.
Thank you guys for having me on, being thoughtful enough to invite me in. So thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yes.
You the
And you
king. We got to have the king.
so you have a good evening and thank you again.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, dear. You're welcome.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Bye.
All right, so we're going to keep it moving, keep it moving. We have one of Winston's oldest friends, Lewis Smith Sr. How you doing, Lewis?
I am blessed and highly favored. How you guys doing?
We
We
good,
good.
we good. We good. Welcome, and thank you for taking out time to spend with us this evening. We know that you know Winston far longer than probably any of us, including his children. So would you share your 60 seconds memory
Yeah,
or
I miss my brother. We used to talk at least once or twice a week, sometimes once or twice a month. We used to talk to each other. And I recall his mama making a comment to both of us that we both was in the military at the time. She said, you know, your truest friend is both of you to each other, because no matter where you guys at, y'all always track each other down. You know, we went through a lot of stuff together growing up, him over on Eastern Street and me over in Westlake Court, and we always been family. We always will be family, you know, and I miss saying not a day go by that I don't miss that boy, because he was the real deal, you know. So I thank God for putting in my life. I remember when he was in the hospital and you put the phone to his ear and you say he smiled when I heard my voice, you know. But you know what? Brother's okay now. He where I desire to be one day, up there with him and in peace and walking with the Lord. And that's what it's all about. And that's what he was about. So praise be to God. And
amen?
I know he would love to see that
Amen.
grandbaby right by now too. So he
I
sees that
know it.
baby. He sees that grandbaby. So yeah.
Yes, yes. So I appreciate you for being that loyal friend to him, and I appreciate you for carving out time to be here today to share those 60-second thoughts. And as we move through the evening to have others come in and share thoughts. So I appreciate you.
Amen. I'm glad to be here tonight, and God bless everybody. Y'all have a blessed evening, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You take care of you. Thanks for putting this together, sis. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. You take
All
care.
right.
Lewis
God bless
Smith.
you. All
Thank
right.
you.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Right.
And we have another friend of Winston's by the name of Johnny Thompson, who worked with him when him and Elaine had a program, Awesome Inc., in the community. Johnny is actually on vacation, so I wanted to get him in real quick because he needs to get back to his activities. So we're going to invite Johnny Thompson into the studio. Welcome, Johnny.
Oh, thank you. How's everybody doing?
We
Good.
good.
How are
Hey,
you?
Good. Yeah, I
hey,
work
how
with
you get to
Winston.
take a vacation?
Well, you know, some of us have it like that.
Ah,
And somebody had to get out there and catch some fish.
somebody
Because
had to start it, huh?
that's right. The prices of fish right now is unbelievable. So I did my due diligence in hiring a guide so that we can get out there and have some for the rest of the summer.
All right,
But
all right.
But anyway, yeah, I work with Winston. I had an organization called Real Men, Real Vision. And one of the things that brought me so close to him was his passion to help our youth. I can guarantee you most of those young people that he helped several years ago are out there doing their part in protesting injustice and racism. Winston was a dedicated guy to his calling. He was a God-fearing man who had a great heart. And all you had to do was meet him for the first time, and you were locked in on every activity he had. So it was a pleasure of mine to meet him and all the other people that he brought into my life, which to this day, I tell you, I cherish those moments. So on his 5-year anniversary, you can't do anything but praise all the people that he brought together.
Yes, awesome. Yes, indeed. Those were some good
Amen.
years that we
Yes.
worked together.
Yes,
Some good
indeed.
years. Yeah. So
Yes,
I
indeed.
appreciate you, Johnny, and all that you continue to do. And who you were in his life. So thank you, and you enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you.
If there's any chance to bring any fish back to me.
All right. I'll let you know.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Listen to that.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful evening, and be careful.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So as we keep it moving, keeping it moving, we have one youngster, one of Winston's students by the name of Michael Walton. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
Good. I know you got a 60-second moment that you want to share about your teacher, your mentor with the audience.
Man, he was the best. We used to call him Mr. C, Mr. Big C in class.
Right.
Man, I promise you, he was the funniest person I ever met. Like, it would be days I come in, I'd be mad. He'd be like, Mike, come here. What's the problem? I said, nothing, Mr. C. Then he'll say something funny, and that just brighten up my day. Like,
Yeah.
I literally, he was like almost like a father figure to me.
Mm-hmm.
And because he'll call me in the morning when he get to school, he'll call me, hey, Mike, I forgot to grab my breakfast. I was running a little late. I said, don't worry, Mr. C, I got you. I said, just tell me what you want. I'm on my way. I get to class, he'll sit there, eat his breakfast. I said, now, you know you're not supposed to have this. He said, you gonna tell? I said, no, sir.
That's him. That's him.
But he was a real mentor to me. Like, it'd be days, like one Saturday, they had like a fundraiser for the little kids. He like, I need some volunteers. I was the first one there. I said, I'll drive my car, we go out there.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, I really appreciate that. And I wouldn't mind doing anything for him. He was really a mentor for me.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing that moment, that memory, and spending time with us this evening. So thank you, and you continue to enjoy your evening and be blessed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye. Fond memories. So we still got some folks in the green room waiting to come in, and as you guys all know, I know that Cornelius, you've known Winston longer than me and my brothers, for sure. So you might have.
Yeah, I got a few stories, man. I met him through teaching. We was over at Flint River program at North Clayton High School, and we just clicked it off because we both have a love for kids. Now, I didn't know he was a minister until maybe 3 weeks after of being around him. When he finally told me, I was like, "Hey, man, I've been cussing up a storm around you, dog. You could have told me, that you were." I'm telling you, I used to ask him all the time. I said, "Man, these kids are getting on my nerve, man. We need to go down to the liquor store and get something to drink, and then come back after planning period." He like, "No, we ain't gonna do it, man. We'll do it tomorrow." You could have just told me ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have said the liquor store. I just said we're gonna take real communion or something. We'd have something different to do with it.
Yes.
But he was just that guy, and he didn't mind asking you to do something to help to give back.
Right.
And especially with the kids or in the community. It'll be several times he called me. He go, "Hey, I'm over here in Riverdale at the park, and we got an event. I want you to come through." I'm thinking I'm just coming through just to be supportive. No, he got me on the grill, grilling chicken and everything else. But he was just that guy, man. And he was fun loving and had a tremendous heart. And that's my brother, my dude, and he just accepts you for who you are. However you are, you and that with you. Like, so, and he's one of the people who I thank for showing me God the way he did. Because ain't no judgment. Like, man, you were being you. You were being authentically you. And right. Like, you could have told me, though, I'd have been, I wouldn't have cussed around. I'd have walked away and still said the same thing. I'm still going to fake it now. I ain't going to change that. But
right.
And he loved to laugh, man. And I think that's the one thing that we had most in common. Love of kids that love to laugh and crack on people. So that was
right. As we keep it moving, we've got a few people in the studio. I'm going to let two of them in, Reginald Scott and Tony Faison. And so I know you both have, your 60 seconds of memories or thoughts that you want to share. I want you guys to go ahead and share it. We'll start out with Tony if you like.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm honored to be here, and I'm honored that you would consider me to share this opportunity with you. Real quick, I just want to say it's not too many people that come into your life and affects you the way Winston did. A lot of people I know, I look back on my life and say, when did I meet them? How did I meet them? But the funny thing is, I remember the first day I met Winston, and I remember the last day I met him. And just a brief synopsis of it, every Sunday we would come to church, and he was always the one person that I would always not mind seeing and not mind sitting and pulling up, going to have a little conversation with over in the bathroom or on the side of the building. He was an encourager. He kept me in line because I would tell him I'm frustrated. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he said, no, you got to, with his deep voice, you got to wait and let things play out. And he kept me cool. And I remember the day that you called me. He had already passed away. I don't know if you remember this, Shenita. And you told me he was gone. I said, I still have to come up to the room and pay my respects to him. And we sat in the room with him for a little bit. And he was just such of an encourager and a true friend. And I just want to say I love him. His legacy, his memories live on within my heart. And I pray to God that I see him again.
Yes. Thank you so much, Tony. And I couldn't have said it any better. So thank you. Thank you for being his friend. And Reginald.
How y'all doing? Thank you for having me. My memory of Winston is one of the things I really remember, that how he really loved you. He really loved you. So that I really admire, number one. And not only was he my son's teacher, he was a mentor to Kobe. So, that connection was there because, I work with children. I know how he was with children. And then to be a part of you guys' wedding, and me, I love to dance. So, hey, to be out there in some classes that, that's some real class stuff. And if you remember this, you guys got me started in Seabreeze Jazz Fest. Now I'm married. We continue to go. That's an annual thing for us. Even though they canceled, we still went to Panama every year. And you guys, because you and Winston going to the base, remember that? Yes. So, hey, I remember those good times. So I know he's in good hands, if the person he is, hey, and I'm diligent about time. It's many things. So, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all more than you know. And you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And again, thank you for stopping in and sharing with the audience.
Thank you.
You guys matter. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, so we have a couple more people in the green room. We're gonna let them in so we can keep it going. We're at 7:28, and because time is of the essence, we're gonna keep it going. We have one of his dearest friends, Mr. Hugh Oliver. We're gonna invite him in, and Mark Jones to share their 60 seconds. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening.
What's going on?
Thank you all for being here. And we'll start with you, Hugh Oliver.
Hey, yeah. Thank you. It's an honor for me to do this. I have several good memories of Winston going back between Cowboys and Falcons the whole time, and just laughing and joking. But I have one good memory talking about fishing. He talked about going fishing for 2 months and said, what we gonna do, what we gonna buy, and we sat down and said, we're gonna do this and catch all this fish. So I remember that Monday morning Saturday morning finally came. We had all our ice things, all our fishing poles ready, packed the truck down, loaded, drove down early in the morning, and then we finally got some bait. When we got down there to Westlake, we went from the Alabama side to the Georgia side, back to Alabama side. We swear we're going to catch some fish. Only thing we caught that day was some red dirt. But the best thing about that time was we built that bond between Alvin and Winston and I. We got for each other, had all types of talks. We just had heart to heart. So that was one of the biggest memories I had with Winston. So I some things I just can never forget about him. And thank you so much, Shenita.
I appreciate it. And I wanted to make sure you knew that Cowboy, my brother David, is a Cowboy fan.
He's a great man, David. You're a great man.
That's right. That's why you didn't catch no fish. You're a Cowboy fan. Look at my hat.
Hey, Ricky. Y'all need a new quarterback, Ricky. I see that ugly hat you got on, man.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, but I'm still a Saint.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Yes, thank you so much, Hugh. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the friendship that you had.
Yeah, there you go, David.
You have a good evening.
All right, take care.
Take care. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. And Mark, what about your 60 seconds?
The greatest thing that I took from Winston is the importance of relationships, developing and maintaining and personalized relationships that where everyone feels special, that everyone has that there's room for everybody. Where Winston worked under me, and we would ride home from work, and while I was training him on the job, his ability to connect with the younger adults, and they gravitated for him because he made everyone feel unique and everyone feel special. And those are one of the things that as Black men, I was just talking to a partner that the role of a man is to help establish self-esteem in our children. That our role is as equally important to the young ladies as it is the men. That how we treat them and how we view them and treat them is important. How we speak over them is important because when we speak purpose over them and we hold them accountable to their potential, it's etched in gold. It's written in stone and it cannot be taken away. And so the ability to make people to be personal with people, because I'm the type of person that I say what I got to say and I keep it pushing. I'm from Detroit. We kind of just direct and we keep it going. But I had to learn how to engage people and develop those relationships and those connections. And watching Winston, I got a better understanding of how to do that.
Amen.
Awesome.
Wow.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And one thing that I always remember is the day, June 30th, 2015, the last person, work person he was with was you coming from work. So I always remember that. So I thank you for taking him under your wing, training him, and walking through that journey with him. And I thank you for taking the time to come tonight to share those memories. And I appreciate you. You know how much I love you.
Oh, yes. And to all you Saints and Cowboys fans, y'all full of mess. So,
hey, don't start nothing now. It won't be nothing.
I'm just saying. I can't say nothing with football season roll around because I'm a Lions fan. But
okay, all right.
I like the Lions. As long as they're not playing the Cowboys.
All right, then. Y'all be blessed. I gotta finish cooking for my wife.
Thank you.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
So we have a couple of more that's out there in the green room. We're gonna let in Reginald Randolph and Jack Hamler. Reginald and Jack. Where did Reginald go? There we go. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
I know you guys have a lot to say, but you don't have 60 seconds to say it in. So, Reginald, it's on you.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Real quick, I met Winston with Shenita years ago. They were working on 2 youth groups together. Kind of saw that they had the same mission. And I was supposed to be helping Winston, build the labs and do all these great things for the kids. And what it really came to be, now that I know where I am in life, he was kind of my God sent, because I didn't know I had the issues I had at the time. I was running 100 miles an hour, didn't realize I was dealing with PTSD and some other things going on in life. I just know I wanted to be an impact somewhere. but I had no direction, and Winston gave me that. He would sit back in a chair, lean back, just as calm as could be, and my brain would be just wide open, and then I would just come down, and we just start talking. And I mean, why Black Men Matter today? I mean, he was the epitome of that. He never had too much going on for anybody. He always stopped for everybody. He always showed everyone the same amount of love, and he always made you feel like you had all his heart. So when it comes to being the greatest role model in the world, he was that for me, as a grown man. And I feel proud to say that, because most grown men won't say that. And if he had something to say today, he basically said, leave all the agendas to the side, love each other, support each other, no crabs in the barrel, go back to our kids, build our kids up, because that's our future. But our future won't start in the future. We got to build our leaders now. And really, the sad part is the Winstons in the world, we're quiet. We don't speak out and say, here we are. We rather use our energy for that impact, and that's what he did. Even when he was worked up, he wasn't worked up. The only worked up he would get is when he was in trouble with Shenita because he had too many sweets. So other than that, and then speaking of which, if you ever needed a good example of how to love your soulmate, he was it. So, those are two things that Black men need to be able to stand out and do, and we need to be able to pick each other up and support each other with, and that's love our children, build our children, and love our queens and build our queens, and the world will be all right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree with you
6 seconds of that, but I'm good now.
Thank you. You got it out. Thank you. Jack?
Well said.
Yes.
Yes.
It's on you.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. I met Winston through Shenita also. I'm a few years older than Winston, but he was still my mentor. This guy was he reminded me of E.F. Hutton. When he speaks, you listen. Because he has so many encouraging things to say to everyone. And I admired his cooking. He was a hell of a cook. So I tried to watch him when he was cooking so I could learn something.
Yes.
And I was with him the night he died. I had just left his house. He and I and Madison, we all was in the living room sitting around talking, and of course you never know what's going to happen at any time. And I left, and by the time I got home, I believe Shenita called me and told me Winston had passed or had gone to the hospital or something.
Yeah, had a heart attack.
Right. It was just devastating. He was such a great guy. They say the great guys go first. I guess there were raggedy guys like me hang around for a while for some reason.
Don't say that.
That's basically all I had to say. Winston was just, I don't know. He was an outstanding person, and I hope someday someone says some good things about me, because I don't know no one who's just like Winston. No one.
Wow.
I appreciate you both, because you guys were definitely instrumental in his life. So Reginald, Jack, thank you. Thank you, Jack, for being there. Thank you, Reginald, for being there and being here tonight. You guys matter. And you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening as we navigate to get everybody else through this show. We thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
And we're going to invite Gary Dubose and Lester Rainey into the studio. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Who is Lester?
My man.
So we're
still raining.
Yeah, so we're gonna start out with
screen.
We're going to start out with Gary Dubose. Gary, I know you have a whole lot to say, but only 60 seconds to say it in. So I know it's going to be impactful. It's on you.
Hey, can you hear me, Miss Shenita?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I kind of got emotional when Miss Shenita asked me to speak. I was on a ride home, and it's because of Mr. Connally. First words that came to mind when I think about Mr. Winston is awesome ink. I met Mr. Winston, and I still wear this awesome ink hat when I play golf. He was a gentleman that not only welcomed the kids in the neighborhood, but he welcomed the parents, the politicians, the public figures, all to see what he was doing in the community. I still use some of the tactics that he taught me in a lot of my programming and leadership programs. He taught me the importance of establishing, nurturing, and maintaining relationships. He taught me how to utilize college interns to fill employee gaps. He taught us how to teach, parent, and mentor successful Black men. And I say that means successful Black men, not just Black men. And Amen. He was a mentor for mentors. He was a blessing in my life. And everything that he touched, it seemed to work out when all odds were against him. And I really appreciate all the work that he did in the community. I really appreciate all the work he did for me and for all of the young men that have touched his life. All of the men that have touched his life are better because of Mr. Winston. And that's why Black men matter, because as some of the others said, each one teach one. He never left anyone behind. Amen. Thank you, Ms. Shenita, for the time.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Lester?
Hey, Shenita.
Awesome ink. Yes. Lester, you got 60 seconds. Not 60 future seconds.
It won't take that long.
All right.
Just thinking about since you called me, all I can say and all I've been thinking about, Winston was just a solid dude. Every time we've had a chance to interact, between his deep voice and his calm spirit, he's just calm in the storm. When you got Ricky running around doing stuff, he's
okay, all right.
You got Shenita, she the life of the party, and we just sitting there and we're like, Lester, we gonna be all right, dude. Just you do what you do in the kitchen, and then I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna get out of the way and let them do what they do. That was it. Whenever we had a minute, he could kick some knowledge to you. It's just so solid, so simple. And you sitting there thinking, well, man, how I'm gonna do this? And he's like, oh, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna be over. I can't say nothing else about him. He was just a solid brother. He made you feel good. He made you feel like everything was gonna be all right.
That's right.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys, and as we're moving them through, we appreciate you guys for being here and sharing those moments.
Lester, look at me. Lester, look at me. I can't wait to see.
Stop playing with the phone. You gonna sit in your house or you on the road again?
I'm on the road. Don't you see a beard? I'm in my backyard.
You and Doc was on the road the last time we was on for Pop's birthday.
Oh, well, I'm gonna be on the road as soon as this conversation over.
See what I'm talking about, Shenita? See what I'm talking about?
So with all that being said, we're gonna let you guys go and we're gonna bring some more people in, but we appreciate you and Gary.
All right, y'all have a good one. Thanks for inviting.
You too.
Thank you.
Good. We're gonna bring in some young people. We're gonna bring in James Scales. We're gonna bring in Dante Davis, and we're gonna bring in Xavier Roth. And you guys have 60 seconds, and I know that it's tough. That's a big man to fill 60 seconds, but if you would help us understand who Winston Connally was and why he mattered in your life, starting with James Scales.
All right, how you doing, everybody?
Hey.
Winston, and I want to touch on what something that Lester said. He was definitely a solid individual. He definitely was a positive role model. And what I mean by solid and positive, he basically knowledge of self and spirituality. He definitely exemplified both of those qualities. He knew who he was, and definitely a positive role model to us kids. I was a lot younger. One thing I do remember is his cooking. Definitely can throw down. I remember we was at an event, Santa event that we was at, Miss Connally, and And the food was good there. The food was good. Everything was laid out. But when he went back there and made omelets, I was first in line. first in line. I was like, all that I emptied my stomach just to have those omelets. So he definitely was a great cook, positive role model. Definitely believed in God, and that is very inspiring to me. He definitely reminds me a lot of qualities my dad has, and he's definitely just a positive man. And his memory, his legacy will live through all of our hearts, I'm sure. So that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Dante Davis.
Miss Shenita, what's going on, my dudes?
What's happening?
Not much. So just like everybody else is saying, Mr. Winston was a solid guy. I remember when I first met him.
You weren't too sure who he was to me, right?
I wasn't, and I tried to put a little fear in his heart. I was like, this is my Dukes right here, And I told him, I said, you heard me, just playing with him a little bit, trying to feel him out. You remember what he did? He looked at me, he smiled and said, "Nice to meet you, son," and walked away. Solid man. That's all he did. And from that day forward, every time I saw Mr. Winston, he would call me son. He did that because you told him that I was your son. And if I'm your son, then I'm his son too. And every time I see him, he would call me son. "What's up, son? How you doing?" It doesn't matter how we first met. He always was like, "What's up, son?" Gave me a hug. It wasn't no handshake. It was a hug. And, Mr. Winston was a great guy.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always remember about him. When you guys came down to visit me, it was, "What's up, son?" And he gave me a hug. And hey, I just love that man.
Yes, I appreciate you. And James. Last
what's up, James?
but not least, Xavier Ross.
How you doing, Miss Shenita?
Good. How are you?
James, you looking older than me, man.
Good
one. At the end of the day, I just want to say let me start by saying thanks to God. Thank you, God, for sharing Mr. Winston for the time period that we were able to all embrace him. I came to know him when I was in 8th grade, and so I got to have him for 11 years. And I thank Jonathan and Chris every time I see them now for sharing their dad with me. I have my father in my life, and sometimes God will give you extra pieces. And I know, James, you can definitely relate because your dad worked with Mr. Winston as well. But when my dad and Mr. Winston met, it was like an instant gelling and an instant connection. And so, it's been 5 years, and I'm knocking on the door to 30 Club this year. And so everything that he said to me over the 11 years that we were together, that we knew each other, it's now manifesting itself. And so I'm just thankful for the lessons that I learned, the experiences that we shared, going to the mountains, going camping, cooking. I could already cook when I met him. That was one of the things that, as a student that can cook. But what he did, what he showed me was a skill set on the grill that I had not manifested at that time. But now. Oh,
Winston
thank you. So I thank God for that. And lastly, Ms. Shenita, before I turn it back to you, I remember a few years ago we talked about the legacy and what that could look like with a new component of Awesome Inc. going forward. I know we talked about that probably closer back around the time of him passing, but I just want you to know it's on my list. I'm turning 30 in a month. And there are 30 things I need to do between 30 and 40. And so please believe somewhere in the next year, 2.5 years, the rebirth, rebranch, relaunching of Awesome Inc. in Riverdale, where it started, is on the agenda. So you are at the table, head person just like me. So I want you to just keep that in mind and be expecting it to happen but when it does come to pass.
Yes, thank you guys. I know you all were dear and near to him in so many ways, and I just appreciate you guys stopping by to share your memories and your moments, because you matter, and he certainly mattered in all of our lives. So thank you guys, and you know that I love you.
We love you too, and thanks.
All right.
Thank you, and y'all have a good night.
You gotta get up, man.
Oh yeah, I'll hit you up.
Oh yeah.
All right, man.
All right. All right, so we have, let's see, Alvin.
Yes.
Gerald. Hey, Alvin, how are you?
Just fine. How are you, Shenita?
Good. So I know you only have 60 seconds, but I want you to share your 60-second moment with us and the audience.
All right, now. Well, I'll tell you, yeah, it's a short time, I mean, to share this, even though when I met Winston, and then until he passed away, it was a short time that we had time together to fellowship and to know each other. But I tell you, in that short time though, his impact on my life was very tremendous. He was a real brother. Me and him was, same age, pretty much, but he was like I heard the other comments and stuff. He, like I said, he instant gravitation to each other. We just shared some things that was phenomenal as brothers, and he, like I said, he impacted my life towards, just to keep being a good husband, a father, and also, a brother in the neighbor, community, and to do the things that we're supposed to do as men. Like I said, I miss the brother. I'm looking forward to many more years together to fellowship and to hang out, to have a good time with, and to glean off his wisdom, his knowledge, to what he's been, where he's experienced and everything, and this is a great moment. I'm glad you're doing it for his honor and for his very humble person, but his ability was never off. But his ability, always took a back seat toward his presence in the room, his presence when you spoke to him, and when you spoke to him, it exploded. But he was always humble. He was always genuinely welcoming. His spirit was always that spirit where you can talk to him and you could say what you want to say to him. And he was a real man. He was a real person. I mean, his love of Christ, his love of God, a man of God, and he carried that in a way that, nobody could really see, but it really impacted and impressed people. And I just thank God that I was a part to know him for that short period of time. But like I said, that short period of time is a life-lasting effect on my life, and I really thank that.
I thank you. I thank you for being his friend because he was fond of you, and thank you for
and look, I'm wearing the hat that you gave me that he wore. And like I said, it will always be treasured because, like you said, I mean, he was a warm and gentle man. It was a warm spirit, but also he had wisdom and knowledge and understanding and love for people, and that carried on in his life. And he will always be remembered in my heart and in my mind, as long as I live. And I can't believe it's been 5 years, that
5 years
has passed away. But God be the glory. It was His will. But like you said, he was here to impact so many people. I mean, but the main thing, I mean, young men. I was earlier. I saw that young men was very impacted by him. But I want to get off. Hey, I'm getting emotional now. It's getting good to me. So
I appreciate it. I know it's difficult to do it in 60 seconds, but we appreciate you being here, and we're gonna keep it going. And I appreciate your time.
Okay, I'm gonna stay on the line just to hear other people too.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We're gonna bring in my cousin Gerald Gooding. How you doing, cuz?
Hey, what's going on, cuz? I see my other cousins on there too. I've seen more of y'all lately, boy, than I've seen in a few years.
I know, right?
Yeah. Hope everybody's doing well. But let me get my 60 seconds, so I don't want to prolong the time either. But from what I know from Winston, he was just a man that always had everybody's best interest at heart. Even though we spent a whole lot of time together, we had a connection. And I know every time that you guys would go down to Pensacola, you would go by and see my grandfather, which really meant a lot to me because he would always call me and let me know that you guys were there. And then how much he liked being around family. So a family where everything to your parents and my grandparents. So he just enjoyed you and Winston when you stopped by. So I really appreciate that. And then I just want to give a shout out to you because it shows how much you care about his life and legacy as he carry on. Because I wish that as you give support to the men, we need support from women like this. And we don't want to wait till something happens. You know, I know as the word says, to be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. So we know that where Winston is in a better place, but we need more people to do what you're doing now to celebrate us while we're here. That's why we matter. So we thank you for going on tonight, and we really appreciate it. And I know he's looking down, smiling on all of us until we reach unity in the faith.
Yes,
Amen.
absolutely. And that's why, you know, from the moment that him and I became friends in 2009, I celebrated his birthday every year from 2009 to 2014. Every year there was a celebration of his life because I knew the importance of celebrating and giving people their flowers while they could enjoy them. And so you're right. We have to seize the moment while we can, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. So while we can, we need to do just that. So I appreciate you for being here, taking the time to share your thoughts with us this evening. And I actually have a video from a young man that I want to share with the audience who was not able to be here, but he left this video. So I'm going to do that right now.
What's up?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to speak on a dear friend of mine. My name is Wali Madu Rashidi. At the time that I met Winston, I was serving as the vice president of the media ministry at New Macedonia Baptist Church. That's in Riverdale, Georgia. Winston was a member there who we constantly talked about a number of things, subjects of all interest. One thing I love about Winston is that you could talk to him about anything. But one of the things that I cherish the most about Winston is Winston actually introduced me to Spurgeon, who is now a video business partner of mine. Spurgeon was playing with the basketball team and helping the youth and so forth, and he kept trying to put us together. And one of the things that he did is he was a great communicator in putting people together. So that's what I love about Winston, is he put people together. And I've formed a lifetime partnership in business with Spurgeon. Thank you all. Peace and blessings. Long live Winston.
I thought that was awesome. He wasn't able to be here, but he wanted to share that video clip, and I thought that was awesome of him to take the time to do that. So, you know, I know we're getting close to our 8 o'clock hour, and there were some other people. I'm not sure if they got tired of waiting, because there was so many people waiting and trying to get in to share, but I am grateful for all those who were able to share. David and Ricky, if you guys want to share anything before we close out, we have like 2 minutes.
Well, I'm going to say Winston was the real deal. And he was just a good guy, a good fellow. And I always enjoyed his company, his conversation. But most of all, I'm glad that he found Shenita, because the deacon would have enjoyed this relationship.
Yes, he would have. Yes, he would have.
So you found the right man.
No, the right man found me.
The right man found you, but I really appreciate my brother-in-law. And he left too soon. I still wish he was still here, because I always look forward to being around Mr. Winston Connally.
Yes.
He was a good dude.
Yes, he was. Long live Winston, as his friend Wally said. You know, it was some great memories, great times, and I'm grateful that I had a part of his journey with him. So I want to close out the show, and I want to thank the audience for celebrating the life and legacy of a great man. He mattered, and every Black man matters. And so please remember that, regardless to what society says, you matter. And we want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. Thank you, David, Ricky, Cornelius, Gerald, all the other men. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, some kind of way I lost connection.
Okay, we're getting ready to close out. If you have 30 seconds, we got you.
Well, I can say I met a number of guys that Shenita used to try to date, but when I met Winston, I think I joked. I said, "Oh, you got your pawpaw now, huh?" So when I met Winston, I said, "Oh, okay. Oh, he's a keeper. All right, he's a keeper." Then when I found out his birthday was the same day my birthday, oh, he's the one, Shug. You met the man out of all of them. That's the man. That's all I got to say.
I truly appreciate how y'all loved on Winston and accepted him into the family. He loved y'all like y'all were truly his blood brothers and family. So I appreciate y'all on this journey and love you all dearly. So thank you all for being here tonight. And to the audience, thank you all for being here as well. Remember that I love you, but God loves you most and he loves you best. This Thursday show is going to be part 2 with Team Gant for the love of money. And so we hope that you guys will be tuned in on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want to thank you again for being a part of this broadcast tonight. I thank you also for subscribing to my YouTube channel, Life with Shenita. And I thank you for liking and sharing the post and supporting this initiative. And I want to pray continued blessings on each and every one of you as you journey through life. So you guys have a wonderful evening and we'll see you on Thursday. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Amen.
Have a great
Bye,
night.
little Tuda.
All right. We'll see y'all later,
All right.
cuz.
All right, cuz. All right, cuz.
Bye-bye.
Bye.